All right, so here we are. We're at the top of the hour, 9 a.m., 30 minutes to the opening bell, and I am looking for some gappers and some opportunities for trades this morning. So, my thought today is that this feels similar to yesterday. So far, I've taken no trades. It's a little uncommon. Usually, I will have at least some trades between 8 and 9, but today I didn't have any. Dice, DICE, is our leading gapper up 85%. While I did sit down early enough to see this first 5-minute candle make a new high, I didn't take that trade because as I looked at it, I sort of thought there were two issues. One, naturally the price. It's a higher price stock. Two, the float is higher. Three, it is easy to borrow. And then four, traders were mentioning that there is a shelf registration for $400 million that was just filed on, I think it was October 3rd. So October 3rd right here, a shelf registration to sell up to $400 million in stock. And so when I saw all of that, I thought, this doesn't feel like the one. Well, of course, it didn't feel like the one, but it did certainly go higher. And so it went higher without me. And, that's just the way it is sometimes. B set popping up. Now, we did see a headline on Forge, F-O-R-G-E, or F-O-R-G. However, that headline was a buyout. B set, bigger spreads, also easy to borrow, which is interesting. Waiting to see what the news headline is. Not seeing it pop up just yet. Not a recent IPO stock, not a recent reverse split, so doesn't meet the criteria from those perspectives. I'm just going to have to leave it alone for now. FORG, yes. So this was a buyout. It pops in this candle all the way up to $44 a share. I pulled up the level 2 and saw it priced up here in the high 30s, and it came right back down. It's a buyout at like $23.25. So I don't know why it popped that high, but some algo got a little confused and I guess didn't understand the news. So that went pretty high. Well, I guess that happens sometimes. So that's FORGE, no trades on it. Dice, no trades on it yet. I don't think I'll trade it. It is a recent IPO, but I'm just somewhat recent. But I'm just trying to be a bit more cautious on this one. So about a year ago it IPO'd. All right, LASE, LACE. So this one is moving higher, but as you recall, this one was a sort of, it was an IPO that a lot of traders were talking about, and it ended up really failing and being a huge sell-off, pretty much a disaster. And so as it's curling back up, is there some opportunity? Sure, there is, but the level 2 seems pretty thick. It doesn't seem like really it's got a lot of range right now. It's not moving very quickly. So I just am not that interested in it. And so that one's not very interesting. SBET, that one just popped up, but like I said, bigger spreads. Sorry, B set, not SBET. B set popped up. Bigger spreads, lighter volume, not seeing the news. Next one is JOBY, 227 million share float. Float's higher on that one. So that's a no-go. Mentioning FNGR, Justin. Yeah, I had a trade on that one yesterday. Made around 700 on it, 600. I thought it looked interesting for a daily breakout. It's a continuation stock. I would keep it on watch, but it's lacking volume right now. Had more volume yesterday. SPNE, 28 million share float. It's below the 200 moving average. Doesn't really look phenomenal just yet. So leaving that one alone for now. All right, so APRN, Blue Apron, news available on Amazon store without a subscription. I mean, couldn't I put this sweatshirt on Amazon store without a subscription? Like, couldn't you put anything on Amazon store? I don't know. I just don't find that to be a significant headline. So leaving that alone. NLSP, 58 cents. That's too cheap. VOXR, $3.04. So, yeah, right now, there's nothing that's particularly exciting. Continuation stocks. Was there anything yesterday that held up really well? That you guys see? High the other day on AMV was $30.99. AMV, where's that headline that you see? Just popped up a little bit. Awarded, what was that? Department of Energy funding grant of advanced battery. No, that's AMPX. Is it? Oh, AMPR expands agreement to include distribution. Okay. 9 a.m. Yeah, AMV. Well, we'll see. If it starts to move higher, spreads are pretty big right now. But if it got over 26 and 27 and then over 30, that would certainly be interesting. So bought 1,000 shares there at 24. There's 26 on the ask. We've got the news that just came out at 9 a.m. So watching for an ad over 26. Added right there. And now looking for a squeeze on AMV up to $30 since we have news. So next ad for me is going to be 27.50. Added right there, 27.50. There's 28.86. And now let's look for a move up to $30. So looking to add again over 29. We do have news on this. Putting an order here at 28.99. Added at 27.50 right there for the breakthrough 28. So holding 1,300 shares, taking a little profit here at 28.87. Scaling down to 500 shares. High of this candle is 28.89. New orders at 29 to add. Added back right there at 28.80. Looking for the breakthrough $29. And we'll see if this gets up over 30. So watch for the break of 29. Wish I had taken a bit more share size on it. But bought 1,000 shares as my starter, added 1,000 at 27, and then added again as it popped up to 28. Took some profit at 28.25. High of this candle's 28.80. New orders 29. Watching down here for first 1 minute pullback. The level that needs to break on this is 20, 29, and then 30. So watching down here for the first pullback for a dip trade. Now that I have a cushion on the stock, I can be a little bit more aggressive if we break through 30. So added right there, 27.87 to buy the first dip. There's 28.44. Holding smaller size here, waiting for first 1 minute candle to make a new high. This was on the scans as it has moved up. It's up 30% right now, so it's on the gap scanner. There you go. There's 28.80. New order at $29. Added at 28.75 there for the break through 29. And now looking for a move up to 30. Average is 27.79. So this area right here, would have loved to have seen it break through 30 on that candle. Reducing size. High of this candle is 28.76. So right now with red volume, it looks like a false breakout. We'll have to let it pull back and then try again. So AMV expands agreement with AUSEV to include distribution of 1.5 megawatt charging stations, XP platforms, battery packs in Australia. Parties to explore battery cell production partnership. Okay. Well, I think the question will be how well it holds up. Still holding a small position at 27.79. Good job for catching that news. So I'm going to watch this area, and as it pulls back, volume weight average price 27.12. The only issue right now is that highest volume was on a red candle. Watching for dips off of VWAP. Buyer there at 27.20. So dip off VWAP, added right down there. We'll see if we curl back up through 28. First candle to make a new high off of VWAP, 27.80. So there's 27.90. Teeny bit of profit there, 27.88. Keeping it light right now. This is our fourth leading gapper. If you look at the 5-minute chart, you can see how it's a little bit extended off of its 9 moving average. Unwinding the rest of the position for now, and we'll look for dip trades to add back. So put an order on the bid at 25.55. I'll put another one at 26.60. So filled right there at 26.60 on the bid. And it was weird. Oh, I filled only 20 shares. Come on. That's why. Filled only 20 shares of an order. Put half on the offer when it popped back up to 27.50, which is only 10 shares. So now I'm holding 10 shares. Added back 27.60. Now looking for the break through 28. We've got a bottoming candle wick there. A little bit more profit there at 27.60. 789. Still relatively small gains, partial fills, unfortunately. So a reminder for those tuning in for the morning show, in case you didn't already know, trading is risky and my results are not typical. Make sure you practice in a simulator before you put real money on the line. I would encourage you to, at some point, join Day Trade Dash or Warrior Trading. Either one will give you access to my ultra low latency broadcast with ad-free streaming. And you'll have access to the same scanners that I'm using every single day to find stocks to trade. That was a nice bottoming tail candle wick, but at this point right here, it needs to rip. It needs to break through the high, right? 28.89, 29. So we've got a tweezer top, double top there. That's the level that needs to break. First 5-minute candle to make a new high would be back over 28.15. So there's still potential in this, but it's kind of slow right now. If you showed me something that was more interesting, I'd probably be happy to trade it, but I don't see anything right now that is more interesting. Well, I put an order on the bid at 26.60 and I filled 20 shares at 26.60. So, I don't know. Got a partial fill. Lace, LASC, high is 274 of that pivot. Pivot back here, 281. We'll see. A candle that has a long lower candle wick can be a bottoming tail. When I first bought, I bought at $24, which was on the ask. So I bought on the ask and then added as it went higher. IMUX. All right, okay, so it was a grinder all day long. It held up relatively well, but it's very close to the 200 moving average. Back to the leading gapper, DICE, DICE. It just needs to break through the high, but I have a hard time trusting it right now. It's got these topping tails. FORG, that's a buyout. LASE, this one is a little tricky. AMV, low down here, 26.50. Kind of hesitated to buy that dip there, just looked at it and I saw it at 26.50 by 26.70, and then next thing you know, it was at 27. Now it's at 27.34. No halts pre-market. S&P 500 gapping down a little bit. We're right now at the bottom of the range of the 20% pullback versus the highs. Seems to be a little support in this area, perhaps, but we'll see. So during the mentor session at 11 a.m., Jess will walk you through the AMV trades. He got a nice trade on that. Bought the dip there at 26.55 on AMV. So there's 27.18. That's a little bit of profit. A little bit more at 27.11. And we'll see if it curls a little higher, holding the rest with a stop at break even. Waiting for first 5-minute candle to make a new high before I get more aggressive on it, but I do have a profit cushion, so that's good. All right, we've got about 9 minutes to the opening bell. So my thoughts this morning, it does feel a little slow, sort of similar to yesterday. But hopefully we see some more opportunities at the open. I did end up crossing my daily goal of 5,000 this morning. I wasn't really expecting it because yesterday was so slow, but then we just got that one news trade that worked out pretty well. Still holding smaller size at 26.55, up about $1 a share on the ask. Thank you guys on YouTube who are tuning in for the morning show. I hope you've hit the thumbs up and are subscribed to the channel. Appreciate you guys being here as always. Up, base hit, base hit. That's the way to go. Nice, Jack. That's solid. Small gains, but one trade a day. That's solid stuff. Keep doing that. Keep increasing size, slow and steady. That's the way to go. All right, well, AMV low is 26.40 right now. Still hanging out around volume weight average price. We may see a dip at the open if there's traders out there that were underwater from this big green candle back here and put orders just to, take profit if the stock comes back up to 27.28. So it's possible at the open that we'll see a dip, and then we'll look for possible red to green moves and a break through the pre-market high. If we break through 30.99, that's obviously the big pivot right there. If we can get over that level, we've got room here up to 37. If we broke through that level, we've got room higher. I don't know how much higher it'll go, but it is the first daily candle to make a new high with some news. Seems like it's certainly worth watching. High of this candle here, 27.57. So watching for another dip trade. added at 78, 26.78 for another dip. So trying to buy those dips and then look for the breakthrough 27.50. New order is at $28. There's 27.39. There's 27.57 added right there, 27.60 or 27.59, 53. Looking for the breakthrough 28. Watching the first 1 minute candle to make a new high here on this little flag. The pivot that I want to see break is 27.75. So new order goes at 28, so I can add for the break at 27.75 with the limit order. This is a 5-minute setup that's forming here. $27.25 by 27.40. Let's see if we get the breakthrough 27.50. About 4 minutes to the opening bell. High of this 5-minute candle is 27.75. Reduce the size a little bit. Now we'll see if we break through the highs. We'll wait to see if there's more opportunities as we go into the open. All right, well, we'll continue watching AMV at the open, watching for dip and rip, red to green move. And those of you guys tuning in on YouTube, thank you as always for being here. And we'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning for the morning show. All right, I'll see you first thing tomorrow morning.